Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
If you ever stop thinking you more than just a boy, I understand was shit crazy out here, man. The lady told me she can't cash a check for me because there ain't enough money in the bank. But then a black dude walk out and say, Gillie, give me the check, and cash the check at the same bank that it wasn't enough money at. Yeah, I'm on fucking fire. I ain't gonna lie, man. Because I knew what, you know why I'm on fire? Because look at me, right? When I walk in places, man, they be thinking I'm a young nigga, man. Look at me, man. That bitch gonna sit there and look at that motherfucking check, man, for 2 minutes. That bitch was trying to find something.
Wow, guys, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Hey, man, look, man, here we go again, man. Gillie is going through it again, another time here, because he feel like he's being racially discriminated on. He says, man, you know, he basically felt like the woman did him like she did him. Evidently, she's from another race, because he's saying, you know, she basically told him no. And then a black guy walks out of the bank and said, Gillie, we can cash your check. We got enough money in here. The lady said they didn't have enough money in there. But a black guy comes out and say, Gillie, let me go on and cash your check. Now, it's funny because we just talked about this the other week, last week, when Shador went through his thing. He went off because he said he was at a hotel, I believe in want to say New Jersey or somewhere he was at, and they would not give him a room. They didn't have no suites available. Y'all remember me talking about that just not a week ago, and not even a week ago. And now all of a sudden he's going through the same thing today, but this time they won't cash his check. Gillie and Wallow, as you know, they the $1 Million Worth of Game show that they do. They gave him a lot of money. They dealing with a lot of stuff, success over there, but he's really tripping because he can't get away from the stigma of being discriminated on, racially discriminated on. He's really upset about it, and he keeps challenging the fact of why these people are doing this to him. Now, you got to understand that Shador thing really hurt him because he felt like the NFL didn't do right by Shador. Now Shador is selling, you know, more jerseys than anybody as a rookie. He's you know, he was very humble, even though he went through that. And then they scammed him and acted like pranked him and acted like he had gotten drafted. He's been going through a lot of different stuff throughout this whole situation. And I believe Gillie has become depressed behind the whole thing. Say that again. Let me say that again. I believe Gillie has become depressed behind this whole thing because he hadn't quit going through it ever since this happened. Now, you got to understand, he's very close with the Sanders family. That clique, all of them, they crewed up together. They all, you know, basically he celebrates the wins. He hurts when they lose. He feels very invested emotionally with everything that's going on with him. So now I believe that, you know, as he's going through life now, just only a week later, he feels like the bank played games with him. And like I said, and just thinking back, I go to the bank a lot of times, and a lot of times I want hundreds. I don't want 20s. I don't want singles. I don't want 50s. I want hundreds. I don't want nothing but hundreds. So when I'm taking my money, if it ain't 100, I don't want it. That's the way I always been doing ever since I was young. And sometimes I can't get what I'm looking for. And the lady, whoever, white, black, most time it's white, she'll say, Mrs., we don't have no 100. I was like, what? But I never really catch an attitude about it because I know what I'm asking for is a little different. Now, in this case, I don't know how he was trying to get the money given back to him, but he just felt like they did him wrong. And you got to think about it, man. Sometimes people go through it. They don't like to be taken and put in situations where it's discomforted. And I can be real with you, man. He's definitely, I mean, a check. You know, first of all, I mean, the way money is direct deposited now and the way that people is transferring money, I don't be cashing just checks like that unless somebody write it out from a sponsorship or something like that. But I try to make things directly, you know, direct, because I know already I don't be trusting a lot of times. But checks, I wonder who gave him this check. That's something to think about for a second. Because checks are, I mean, you get checks, but most of this stuff is electronically transferred, And I hate to see him going through that, but it's my first time really just hearing about a check that couldn't be cashed in a long time, Gillie. It's been a long time. So, you know, I usually, everything's being transferred, everything electronic. You know, I wish it would go back to the way it was. You can't even get away with saying you made this to get that or anything, because this stuff is electronically being given out on all avenues. And I think they're trying to get away from money altogether. You know, when it comes down to, you know, singles and $100 bills or whatever. I think it's a thing where they don't really even want to deal with cash flow anyway. But you know me, I'm sticking to the old way of doing things. But I'm like you, Gillie. I'm trying to cash that check. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like I said, Gillie is one of those guys, man, that you know, early on the rap career and all that stuff, it didn't just really go all the way A100 for him, but he was able to do a lot of different things, enough to where people knew who he was. People respected him for who he is in the industry. Now, a lot of them Philly cats say different things about him, but all in all, he's found a niche market in social media and being a personality on a show. I think that's his biggest, that's something that's really good for him. And I think that's rocking. I mean, I'm very, very impressed with those guys and what they do and how they maneuver their business. And anybody that look like me that's working and hustling, I understand the game now that I've gotten into it. I think they was a little bit before me. I came in late. I'm late to the party, but better late than never, right? So Boss Talk 101 pulls up, and definitely got a lot of love and respect for all the people that's pretty much out there doing their thing when it comes down to the podcast world, to all the social media movement, the content-driven movement that we're doing. But when I look at, like I say, Gillie has been really tripping and stressed behind this Shedeur Sanders mess that happened. And now, you know, he's coming out more talking about the racial stuff that's happening to him. And I think he's doing that just to prove a point of, hey, man, we got a lot of growing to do. I don't like the way I'm being treated. I want to be treated fairly when I go wherever it is, whether it's to a hotel, whether it's to a bank, whatever I'm doing, you know, and I'm tripping because they tripping off of it. Call your cousin Wallow, because Wallow was having issues with this whole situation himself. Because Wallow was saying that, hey, man, this situation is throwing me off when it comes to black businesses. So me thinking on that level, what? Gillie call Wallow and see what he's doing to make, because his life seems to be great from what he said last time about how, you know, he's doing his thing and how he make people millionaires. So and shout out to them boys. Like I said, I don't want to down nobody that's out here that look like me, that's out here in this because you got to work your butt off to even stay relevant out here. So Wallow is doing what he do, but I tripped off Gillie because he's pissed and he's mad about what happened to him today at that bank. And I'm telling you right now, he's not gonna let it go. He's trying to figure out a way to be respected as a black man, successful here in America. Get in the comments and let me know. I want to know, can a black man be successful here in America and be respected on the level of his white constituencies? Do y'all think he can? If you don't think he can, let me know in the comments. If you think he can, then hey, you know, if you don't think he can't, tell me why he can't. Can a black man be afforded the same respect with $100 million as a white man with $100 million? Tell me where this disconnect comes. And do Gillie have a valid point? That's something I gotta know. Get in the comments, let us know what you think, man. And also, man, watch this next video that should be right about here where the turkey leg hut guy, Lynn, is going through all hell behind marijuana being sold out of the turkey leg hut. You gotta watch this next video. Boss Talk 101, it's right here. Review.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.